I recently reviewed a paint color by Sherwin-Williams called Passive, and today I'm going to give you a color palette that I put together utilizing it. And not just any color palette, it's of course a Paint People's signature palette pyramid. This is our way of putting colors together, a top-down approach to arranging colors. Very easy to understand. You have your main color up top, which is kind of your default choice, your support colors down below, which are more secondary in nature, and then on the bottom you have all your finishing colors that act as accent choices wherever you want to spice things up a little bit. Today's sponsor is us. ThePaintPeople.com is your go-to destination for quality paint and paint supplies. Whether you're a do-it-yourself enthusiast or a professional painter, we have everything you need to make your project a success. Visit our website today and discover a world of colors, quality, and convenience. And as a thank you for supporting us on YouTube, use coupon code JAMES5 for 5% off your order. So if you watched our recent review on Passive, you should know a little bit about the color, hopefully more than a little bit. Essentially, it's just a light gray, but it is a cool leaning gray. It sometimes looks a bit blue leaning or even cyan in some cases. It all depends on your lighting and your flooring and all those factors. But ultimately, what you need to know is it's a cool leaning, very subtle neutral. And although its lightness does lend itself as a pretty decent main color option, I see it more as a support color, a secondary choice in this particular color palette. The reason for that is I don't really see it being a color that I would rely on as kind of your main hallway color, your main living area color. This is more of a choice for some sectioned off spaces where a cooler color will work better, but really I do favor the warmer neutrals as a sort of default go-to color choice. Now, sticking in the support section of the pyramid, we have another color that is much lighter, and it's called High Reflective White. This is essentially the brightest white that you can get in Sherwin-Williams paint, and in this color palette, I would see this as a great baseboard, door, and frame choice. Really bright, really stark. It's very much going to pop and separate itself from any color you surround it with, especially in this palette particularly. So support colors are done. Where should we go? Up or down? Let's go up. Let's do the main color next. So I picked Classic Light Buff as my main color in this palette. Pretty different from Passive. It's about 23 points lighter, and it also feels a lot warmer. And because it's lighter and warmer, it's just gonna give you a nice, cheerful, vibrant feeling to it. It is part of the white color collection by Sherwin-Williams, and it does feel pretty white, but in practicality, it is a little more off-white, especially next to High Reflective White, which is much brighter. So you still will have a nice difference between wall and trim with those two choices. But I just think if you're picking a color for the main parts of your home that are continuing throughout, you probably have some warmer leaning floors, I would guess, more people than not. Whether it's hardwood, engineered, or vinyl flooring, it's just Classic Light Buff is kind of a timeless color to me. And I just think when combined with the other colors, it really heightens it. Because on its own, it's kind of a creamy light beige in a way. But when you incorporate it with the other colors in this palette, it makes it that much better. So we're going to finish up with the finishing colors down below, the accent choices, probably the most fun options in this palette pyramid. And if you do want your own custom palette pyramid done by me, done by us at the team, check the description down below. We offer color palettes ranging from 3 all the way up to 12 colors, depending on your project size. And essentially you'll get a palette pyramid just like this: main color, support color, finishing colors, and it's all dependent on your tastes, your space, how everything's laid out. I'll give you a palette that I think will work really well in your home. But for everyone else, let's finish this palette pyramid. Scattered Showers would be my first choice as a finishing color. I think it gives you a lot of depth, some richness, and really doubles down on the blue aspect of Passive, but makes it extremely prominent. Because this color has a 22 light reflectance value, which means it only reflects 22% of the light that hits it, which is not a lot. And it just has a nice level of depth, kind of a cool combination of blue with a touch of green, like a touch of this sort of teal lean, and an overtone of that grayed out feel. So it's a very neutral take on dark blue. Like there's enough gray in there to keep it feeling nice and subtle and soft, which means you might be inclined to use it more than you would if it was really vibrant and punchy. Next up, we have another neutral, but this one is a mid-tone and it's more warm leaning than cool. It's called Simple Stone. And what I like about this is it differentiates itself from Passive. They both have a similar level of depth and lightness, but they have very different undertones. So Simple Stone does lean into that taupey vibe, a bit of a greigey feel, or you combine gray and beige together. Pretty much no blue in sight with this color, but still, they're almost complementary in a way because because you have a cool lean in passive and a slight warm lean in simple stone, and that will be much more accentuated when they're used in conjunction. But of the 3 finishing colors, this is definitely going to be the easy choice for a lot of people. It's going to be the most versatile, easy to implement colors in essentially any situation. And then we have our 3rd finishing color, which is Otter. And interestingly enough, to me, this is a deep chocolatey brown, but it's part of the purple family apparently, which is interesting. I think it's because it's not as rich and decadent as a chocolate that is more orange undertoned or it's almost fiery. This one does have that shaded quality to it, which can give it the very slightest of purple undertones coming through depending on your situation. But I really like this dark, rich brown. So if you wanted something really dense feeling, but you didn't want to go the blue route with scattered showers, Otter would be a great choice. Here's the palette pyramid all together. Please let me know what you think, and we have another video right over here.